This poddie is to show you how to use Excel to graph your data. So in this class activity, as you know, we collected data for foot length and height of different people, and this is what our data would look like. So what we're going to do is select only these two columns, which is for foot length and height. You'll have a lot more people here, but this is just an example. And I'm going to go Command C for copy. So all I've done is copied this data, and then I'm going to launch Excel, and it's going to open a new blank workbook. And in this first cell here, I'm going to click on it if it's not already highlighted, and I'm going to go Command V for pasting that data. Now, while you've got that highlighted, if you haven't, it's easy to do that. So if it weren't highlighted, just take your cursor in the top left column, top left cell, and then drag it over like this, and it's all highlighted. Once it's highlighted, you can just go click Charts, and there's a whole range of chart types that you can have, but what we want is XY scatter. So you click on XY scatter and select this first one here. Click on that, and there you are. The computer's done all the hard work for you. All I'm going to do is drag this down here in a space that I can work on it with. Now it doesn't look quite as we expected, partly because it's chosen its own scale for the X and Y axis, which you can change. So that's what I'm going to do first. If I double click on it, it gives me an option of formatting the axis. So I'm going to format the axis, and what I want to do is change the scale. So click on Scale, and instead of being a minimum on the y-axis of 165, I'm going to put in 110, just 110, just in case we have someone who's vertically challenged. And click OK. And that's our scatter, which is looking a lot neater now. So what we want the program to do is actually find as an equation. If you scroll the cursor over on these points and double click, it'll actually highlight all of them and at the same time bring up this window. But if you had these highlighted and then went Control right click, it would go Add Trend Line. That's one of the options, and there you go. So it's actually got a trend line now. Can you see this line over here? Yeah. So that's what your graph would look like. Now, the thing we want for this is that we want the equation for it. So if you look in this window here, here's an option called Options, or menu called Options. Click on that, and it gives you different things. One of the things is display equation on chart. So click on that, click OK, and there we go. So it's actually given us the equation. Now it's too small for me to see with my poor eyes, so I'm going to drag it across here, or maybe I'll make it bigger. Because I've highlighted it, it's asking me what I want to do with it. So I'm going to click on Font, and I'm going to make it slightly bigger so I can see it, and I'm going to make it 14. So you can see that it's a bit bigger, and I'm going to drag it out here. There we go. So that's our equation. And it's telling me that y is equal to 0.9741x plus 151. Clearly that's the gradient. If you were to extend that line and work out rise over run, that's what you would get. And C is the y-intercept, which means where the line cuts the y-axis. And if you were to imagine this being extended all the way up to here, it would cut approximately at 151. So it's as easy as that. Now what you're going to do is compare the data that you got out of Excel with what you did manually by using a graph paper and actually plotting the data. So it's a good exercise to do, because you'll figure out how accurate you were with each of the methods, and you'll get to learn to incorporate technology in some of your maths. Thank you for listening.